On you guys, C1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers out there. That woman is doing a great job in my mind. Very intelligent woman. I'm going to tell you, intelligent women are very, very attractive in my mind. But I want to give a shout out to Black Spring with Autumn. Very good girl, I'm going to tell you. But I was sitting there watching one of her podcasts, one of her talkings, and it made me think about some stuff that I haven't done in a while. You know, I've said before, I used to travel the country. All right, and I've lived out in different national forests all over the country. And one of the things I did learn while I was out there, when people live out in the woods for long periods of time, this fiat currency that we use as money isn't really the money or currency that we use out there in the woods. A lot of people end up using a lot of trading and bartering and stuff like that. All right, and get my mustache off. Anyway, one of the things that I learned is just different types of items tend to be trade items. And in the food category, of trade items, one of the things that a lot of people miss and don't really have a lot of all the time is a few different food items. And that can be a really good trade. I mean, okay. Now, I drink coffee. All right. Now, at the dollar store, this little bottle right here has my coffee creamer in it, because I get that liquid coffee creamer, you know, like the hazelnut or the Irish cream or whatever. But these little bottles right here, I save. These are pretty damn cool little, look at that, that's not a very big bottle. Alright. That right there, I save. Alright. And what I do, just because it could be useful, I find it very useful. Alright. Now, this ain't very big. You know, you can carry that in your backpack, you know, pretty easily. Alright. And what I was doing is, like, for instance, right here. This is a bottle of sugar in one of those bottles. All right, that's sugar. Now, and I got a little thing of coffee right here too. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Coffee and sugar in the food category is like gold and silver to people that live out in the woods for a long period of time. All right, you know, people that live out in the woods and off the grid and what have you. This is luxury items. This is not an everyday thing. Coffee and sugar can be like gold and silver when it comes down to trading. Now, when it comes down to shit hit the fan, this might not be easy to come by. But these right here, you know, like for instance, you know, somebody's got some chickens or whatever, or lays a lot of eggs or whatever, and they like coffee and sugar and stuff like that. This could trade for eggs. You know, I'm gonna tell you, you think about it. All right, you know, you got a buddy that's got something that you want, and you got something that he wants. You know, even trade. Bob's your uncle, right? Hey, all right, now this is another thing too. You know, common salt. This is salt right here. Common table salt. Okay, and pepper, salt and pepper. Now these are in the these. This is I'm only doing what's in the food category when it comes down to trade items at the moment. These things, salt can be used for many different things. Salt can, flavor your food. It also can preserve your food. All right, pretty damn good stuff here. All right, and, some people really take for granted and overlook simple things like table salt. Now here's another one that I loaded up. That's just rice. That's just regular rice. Right here. Now these things are very, easy to carry. And, it's got a screw on top, stay all sealed up. It's not airtight, but it'll keep for a long time. But I'm going to tell you something. In the shit the fan scenario, this right here can save somebody's life. Because when it comes down to rice, it doubles in size when you cook it. So like, a half a cup of rice, that becomes that becomes a cup of rice. And that feeds you. I'll tell you something. This could be very valuable to people out there. You hungry, rice is a good thing to have. Now, I don't really do all of it. I'm going to start getting into it a little bit more. I got me a food dehydrator. I'm going to start doing some food dehydrating and stuff like that, and I'm going to be stuffing stuff in these things and stuff like that and just set it aside. Making, jerky or dehydrating vegetables or fruits and stuff like that. And, hell, you can fill that up with nuts. You fill that up with nuts right there. There's your protein. Just nuts. You throw some dehydrated fruits in there with it. Here you got a trail mix. All right. There's another thing I wanted to show off too. Now, if the power goes out, lighting up your area, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So what I did now, I don't know if you know what is it, tallow? Basically, what that is, just fat, animal fat. You can use, pig fat, beef fat, whatever kind of fat. Like for instance, you go out there and kill yourself a deer, the fat off that deer. You kill yourself a raccoon or a possum. Possum got a lot of fat too. That fat right there. Now that fat, you can make candles out of that. All right. Now, this just happens to be a little tiny jar. This little tiny jar right here, I think had spicy mustard in it or something like that. I think that's what it had in it. See, I tend to keep things like these little jars and stuff like that. Now, I got another one, man, that mushrooms came in. It's probably about, I don't know, about yay high or something like that. But I also, when I cook, like bacon or beef or pork or something like that, I keep the fat. I just throw it in like what I like pickles, all right, and the pickle jars. See, me, I don't have like like a trash man that comes out here and picks up garbage. So anything and everything that I can burn, I burn. All right, now when it comes down to aluminum cans and glass, I can't burn that stuff. Now I either gotta, you know, find somewhere to, you know, throw that away, or, you know, put it, you know, go take it somewhere or whatever. But on a lot of times, man, I keep that stuff because I'll do something with it. You know, like aluminum cans. I might do this again because I did this a long time ago. I was making aluminum can, like soda can, alcohol stoves. All right, you know, these little tiny stoves that you can make out of a soda can. And you can use that to cook the food, boil water, or whatever. Just using regular alcohol or with denatured alcohol. You know what else works is that, what is that dry heat stuff that you put in your gas. You know, that yellow bottle stuff is called heat. They call it heat. It's in a yellow bottle you can get at the auto parts store. You just put that in your gas tank and it's supposed to dry up your gas if it's got any water in it or whatever. Well, that's good too. Because denatured alcohol and that heat, it don't put off a soot. All right, so it don't put off a black soot or smoke or whatever. It's really good. It's a clean burning type of stuff. But this tallow, which is just animal fat, what I do is I'll throw it out when I get done cooking or whatever. I just put it in one of them pickle jars. All right, and then later on down the line, what I'll do is I'll heat it back up, you know, and then take like a piece of T-shirt, acting like a screen or a filter, and filter out all the chunks and all that stuff that whatever happened to got in there and stuff like that, and you know, filter it into another jar. Now this jar, like I said, this was just like a little jar that had spicy mustard in it. Okay, you know, and what I did is I got me what is it, what do you call it, I don't know, I can't remember what kind of string it is. It's like a oh hell, I can't remember what here. Oh, this kind of stuff, this kind of string right here. I can't remember what you call it right offhand. My brain is not all there all the time. But anyway, that's why they call me wingnut. But anyway, took that as a wick. Alright, and I just stuck it down in there and got it all good. Alright, here, you know, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look at that. Got yourself a candle. Now that'll burn for a while. I mean, that thing will burn for a long time. And, you know, got a little lid. Hell, you can snuff it out like that and save it. Carry that with you in your backpack. You're good to go. You got yourself a little candle. Worst comes to worst, you know, you can use that to heat up the area you in. You know, like for instance, you in an area that's pretty damn cold or whatever. You know, just that little bit of heat coming from that candle can heat up a little tiny room, you know, that kind of thing. It will heat that little tiny room, keep you warm.
You can do the same thing with wax, beeswax.
Now, some of this stuff is kind of, in my mind, you know, kind of rudimentary, you know, but, you know, some people ain't thinking about it. There's another thing too, water. A lot of people don't think about it. You know, because down here in Florida we got a lot of hurricanes and stuff like that. You know, people, you know, power goes out and whatever. You know, a lot of people ain't got no way of getting water. You know, a lot of people say, oh well, you can fill up the bathtub if you haven't noticed. You fill up the bathtub, you got all that water, or whatever. That'll work. That's one way, but a lot of people don't think about it. But that hot water heater you got. That hot water heater tank that you got, that's got a lot of water in it now. I mean, hell, if worst comes to worst, that stuff in the back of the toilet is clean water. I mean, honestly, man, in a lot of ways, man, you know, if you're really, you know, worried about stuff, you could use a little bit, just a little bit, not very much, just a little bit of bleach in your water. I mean, like a milk jug gallon of water. I can't remember. It's like just a little tiny bit, just a few drops of bleach, and it helped clean it up. And then also you can boil it. You can boil your water. I'm gonna tell you something. You can survive and live 3 minutes without air. Was it 3 hours without water, 3 days without food? Actually, no. 3 days without shelter, and then was it 3 weeks? Hell, I can't remember, but it ain't long. It ain't long without any of that stuff. I can't remember exactly. Just don't go very far. Don't go very long without air, water, and food. Air, water, and food are the main things, and then shelter. I'm gonna tell you, you can't go very long. It depending on the conditions. When it comes down to weather conditions. Now, if you're in severe weather conditions, man, it'll probably take 3 hours and you fucking out. But 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without water, 3 days without shelter and food. And 3 weeks or something like that, man, without food, I think you can go. But anyway, it's one of them things. Now, I kind of take it for granted a little bit because I know my way around the woods. But I wasn't always like that. I grew up in Orlando. All right, now that's a big city. That's kind of spread out, but it's a big city. But that's where I grew up, until I turned about 21. Well, I was about 20 years old, something like that. Somewhere around 19, 20 years old is when I got away from Orlando. Now I went traveling around the country and stuff. But ever since then, I've been kind of like living on the minimum. There was a time, and I even tried to do that today, but it's kind of hard, because I haven't really put myself in complete off the grid. I still have I'm still, relying on the power grid at the moment. Because I get kind of spoiled. I like having a refrigerator and a freezer. Right now I gotta have the power grid for that to keep it running. All the other stuff, I can find other ways of, making a light, cooking food, stuff like that. But my refrigerator and freezer, and at the moment, now there's another hand pump well on my uncle's property, which is not very far, but it's still a good walk from here. And I can hand pump all that water right out of the ground, but the pump right now from my well is running off of the power grid, and if the power grid goes down, I can't get water out of my well, so that's a problem. Eventually I'm going to correct. I'm going to have to figure that out myself. This is something down the line. It takes a little bit of money and a little bit of thinking. But anyway, when Hurricane Michael came through, we were out of power down here at my house. It was probably a little longer in some other areas, but down in my house it was 2 weeks. Hell, you had to go about 100 miles to get to the nearest gas pump that actually, had power and and actually have a cell phone signal, because everything was out. I'm gonna tell you something. If that was to happen nationwide and happen to last for longer than 2 weeks, y'all are up shit fucking creek. And desperate times, people get desperate and they'll do desperate things. Like for instance, I've been telling some of my buddies over there, it's like, if the things happen, you might be ready, you might have some stuff stored away, but your neighbor might not. and your neighbor might have a family with some kids, and the kids are starting to get hungry, and they're like, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, I'm hungry, I'm hungry," and he starts getting desperate because there ain't no food, there ain't no water. Hell, during a hurricane, hell, a lot of people they had no way of washing their butt. I'm gonna tell you, you know how bad it is when you can't wash your butt for about 2 weeks? That's pretty bad. Yeah, it's one of them things. But yeah, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of this. You know, it's been a while since I've done one of these type of videos, you know, where I sit here and talk about this kind of thing. You know, I do talk a little bit, and I do my radio thing. But every once in a while I do these, you know, preparedness, you know, this survivalist type of stuff. Because, you know, it needs to be done. But, and, you know, you got all these preppers, these survivalists out there that, you know, that's what we used to call ourselves, survivalists back in the day. But, you know, now they call themselves preppers and all that stuff. Well, shit, man, you know. Hell, I've been prepared for a long time. And there's a lot of these people out here thought I'm crazy for preparing and all this stuff. I'm whacked out, you know. What the hell are you preparing for? You know, and I'm like, well, shit, I don't know. Damn, a meteor come crashing down, or, you know, EMP, or you know, the Russians or the Chinese, or I don't know, man. I'm preparing for whatever the hell comes around. You know, I can't prepare for everything, but try to prepare as good as you can. But the thing is, you got to understand, there's that people out there that ain't, and they might come to your house to steal what you got. And they might be ready to kill you for what you got. So you got to be thinking about that kind of stuff too. Got to be thinking about it. Oh, hey, Black Spring, you need yourself a knife. Now, this just happened to be one of the knives that I made. It's a skinning knife. You know, that might not be what you want or what you need, but you need yourself a good knife. This is a really good tool to have. A good knife is can get you through a lot of different situations. It can help you survive and thrive through a lot of different things. Hell, a good knife can build you a shelter. A good knife can you know, protect you and your stuff. A good knife can actually help you catch food or get food, prepare food. A good knife is always important. On the protection part of it, it don't run out of ammunition. You know what I mean? Yeah, a gun is fine and all, you know, hell, you know, you get one of these things, man, that's all right too. But that damn thing will run out of ammunition. You know, that damn thing, you know, that's all right for a little while, but man, once you run out of bullets, hell, it ain't no fucking good. But, you know, here's another knife. That one right there. You know, I got me a little string on it, man, so it won't even fall out of my hand. You know, look at that. But, that thing don't run out of ammunition. That right there, you know, even though that other person might have a gun, you still have a pretty good chance of protecting yourself, even though you got this. And I'm going to tell you something, man. When it comes down to a lot of things, a lot of this stuff, you know, everything I'm talking about, it is, it's better to have it and never need it than to need it and not have it. You know, you get what I'm saying? I mean, you got to understand. It's better to have it and never have to use it ever. You know, it's kind of like that gun of mine. You know, I use it when I have it when I come walking around the property out here, you know, just in case, whatever, you know, the four-legged animals, the two-legged animals, the little slithering animals and stuff. You never know what you got to protect yourself from. All right. But you know, it's better to have that sucker and never have to ever use it. But If you ever need that thing and you ain't got it, shit, you fucked. But yeah, it's one of them things. Hey, all y'all out there in YouTube land, all my wonderful subscribers, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in and watching the videos. I want all y'all keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you're looking everywhere. You know, don't keep them blinders on. You need to look all around. Keep your eyes open. Ear to down to the ground. Keep you listening, watching. And if you got one of them, like one of these things right here, have a bunch of them freedom seeds to fill it up. And then, you know, and then on top of that, I want all y'all to stay dangerous and free, because that's what we need to be. This is the 1122 Wingnut Radio, out here for Anarchy Television. I'm back out!